Welcome. It's Domain Day with CheapWineFinder.com with another wine review. I think we got another Trader Joe's wine. We've been kind of heavy on Trader Joe's and Aldi recently because they had no new wines for around 9 months and some new wines came out. So I've been waiting. What we have here today is the Trader Joe's Reserve Meritage actually. North Coast 2020. It's a red blend. Meritage is a combination of heritage and merit. It is an association in California that is set up to promote and do research on Bordeaux-style wines in California. And Bordeaux-style wines are red blends. Cabernet, Sauvignon, Merlot, Cabernet Franc, Petit, Verdot, maybe Malbec, but almost never Malbec. This one is a little bit different according to the Fearless Flyer, Trader Joe's Fearless Flyer. It's Cabernet Sauvignon, Cabernet Franc, then Merlot, and then Petit Verdot. They don't give the percentages. They don't give much of anything. In France, Petit Verdot is usually like 1 or 2% because that grape never ripens enough to get more than that. But in California, it ripens easily. The North Coast is Napa, Sonoma, Mendocino, Lake County, and a couple of small ones that I've never seen wine from in a wine shop, though I'm sure there are some wines there. But it's mostly those four. And when you talk about value price wines, and a Trader Joe's Reserve wine is supposed to be, this one's $9.99. It's supposed to be equal to a wine that's in the $15 to $20 range. It's just a regular, it's a bargain for a wine, but it's a good bargain, but not sometimes like the Diamond Reserves and the Platinum Reserves are actually fairly expensive wines that they somehow got to deal with and they're $14 or whatever. This is a $10 Bordeaux blend. It has the Meritage name on the label, and to get that, you have to pay $500 to the Meritage Association for every wine that you put that on. So for some reason, I don't know. Did the people who made it, I actually have a link for the people who made it. That's a custom wine producer out of the Central Coast. Did they pay $500 for a bargain wine just to put the name on it? Did they get it already somewhere that already paid the $500? I don't know the deal on that. I'm gonna take a sip of this one. So it is, it's kind of funny because it used to be easy to know. California wines, it's warm in California, so they're ripe and juicy. And Bordeaux was a little cooler, so that they were leaner and more balanced. But with California's still getting warmer. But with Bordeaux getting warmer too, it's occasionally, and not every year, but every 2 years or so, they have wines that really start to resemble California. They'll never say that to a Bordeaux winemaker. They won't appreciate that. But so the difference between Bordeaux and California is kind of becoming smaller. And this wine is it's mostly California with a little bit of France. So that's not too bad for $9.99 red wine. So there you go. It's tasty. It's smooth. It's got a couple different flavors of spice on the front. There's oak spice up front, and then the mid palate there's like a little bit of rough edge spice. It's got a lot of blackberry and blueberry and plums and took another sip. It tastes great. It kind of reminds me. I know we're still in the first part of August and it's been hot and steamy most of the country, but this is more of a fall wine. This is something I can envision sitting around the fire pit with a jacket on or a sweater on, rather than sitting on the patio on a hot, steamy night. This has got a little bit of heft to it, a little bit of a weight on the palate, which is kind of nice. It's coming up. Fall's not that far away, and for $9.99, it's a really kind of a classic red blend, and it tastes great. There is no flaws with this wine. I mean, it used to be when I first started out with CheapWineFinder.com, what was it, 13 years ago? I'm not even sure. Wines that were $10 below, there was something wrong with it. You're going to, you had to you went in with your eyes open, knowing that there could be something that's not great. Was it worth the bargain price? But nowadays, it goes down to $5, $4, and they're perfectly fine wines. They're, they are what they are. They're not trying to be $20 wines. They're not trying to be $50 wines, but they're just trying to be this bright, flavorful wines. Maybe not too complex. This one's got a little bit of complexity. It's got it has tannins are there. They're kind of sweet tannins. They don't really pull. Acidity's fine and gives the wine length. It's both ripe and lean at the same time, and it's kind of odd that you can do that, but that's what a combination of Bordeaux and Northern California will do to you. It'll give you that little bit of yin yang, and it's there. So that's it for me, Domaine Dave. This is well worth drinking. Like I said, it's more warm weather. It's going to feel great in front of it with a sweater around a fire. So buy a couple of them and wait for the weather to change, and you'll be very happy. So adios for me. This is Domaine Dave. Like us, we like your podcast. If you will, push the button that says like. I never do, but if you will, I'd appreciate it. And I'll be talking to everybody in a couple of days. I'm not quite sure what I got left over, but we'll be doing something. I think a sparkling wine on the next couple of days. We haven't done bubbly in a bit. We need a good cheap bubbly, because everybody likes cheap bubbly, or at least I do. So adios, keep it cheap, and I'll be talking to everybody. Bye-bye.